Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing a G456 game with Montu, Thatcher, and JJ Lee 2929. Looking at my first pack, I got a couple good crop cards: Silo Builder, Gardener's Wife, Nursemaid Less So, Haberdasher. Looks like though it's a fairly solid crop game. I almost want to first pick Farm School Graduate here, just because I think it's a very solid card. I think it works great with cards like Silo Builder. It would work pretty well with something like, well, not really Nursemaid. Parquet Sitter, maybe. I could just take Silo Builder. Silo Builder is quite a solid card, and there's no way it's coming back, so... Alright, next up, not too interested in any of these. Probably Miser. Yeah, Miser's fine. And it's unlikely, Miser with Silo Builder is actually decent, because it's extra reason to go back to the build room, build stables space. Seems okay. Bit of a later stream today. Ended up going out for lunch, and then we played with some friends, and we played a bunch of some Seven Wonders. So been doing some different stuff. What do we got here? This pack is pretty meh. What's good here? Stroller seems the most likely to get played, but Bone Collector, there's some cool stuff it combos with. Guildmaster, obviously there's some combos. I think it's unlikely I'll have time to do both something with Guildmaster and something with Silo Builder. That seems unlikely. Master Renovator, Shovel Worker. Shovel Worker doesn't really work with Silo Builder, because with Silo Builder you want to do that earlier and then go back and fence later. Hey, Rylocren. I don't know. Bone Collector. Stroller sort of works with Guildmaster, I guess. It could kind of think along the lines of Farm School Graduate. Like if Farm School Graduate comes back, then something like Guildmaster would be fine, or Bone Collector would be fine. I've been pretty interested in seeing what people do with Bone Collector. And if I do Silo Builder plus Miser, I have some reasonably high wood costs. So Bone Collector as a way to get wood could be okay. Especially with Silo Builder, if I plan to build 4 stables at some point, I have room for a breeding pair of boar or cattle. And then of course if you're eating cattle, then you're getting wood. So we'll try this out. Montu saying his pack's quite tough. Not Riverman. Gardener maybe. Food Connoisseur maybe. Animal Buyer looks pretty good. It's kind of exactly what we wanted to see. Animal Buyer plus Bone Collector. Get to a point where we have... If we can get to a point where we have 6 food going into the harvest, we can buy a pair of boar and then immediately eat them. Someone used this combo recently in a tournament. Was it a tournament game? No, I don't think. No, it wasn't a tournament game, but it was a game I played recently. So this is a pretty good incentive to go for cooking hearth and lots of try to get lots of food. And then we can make a good amount of wood with bone collector. You know, 2 wood per harvest is pretty solid. Not to mention that I can get wood from bone collector just from eating animals at other times as well. So kind of got rewarded for the bone collector pick with animal buyers, so that's handy. Why, hello there. So I hope everybody is staying healthy. Been a lot of, certainly in Canada, there's been a lot of changes over the last 48 hours. You know, the government recommending no international travel and that kind of thing. So then there have been a lot of people panic buying, and I haven't been to the grocery store since Tuesday night. Even Tuesday night, I think they were out of toilet paper on all the shelves. But it's just been a little interesting to see what the response is. Actually, if this game finishes quickly enough, I might go shopping before the one store near me closes. I don't want to go earlier than this because apparently they've been quite busy. Probably not nursemaid. I'm going to want to grow with miser. So parquet setter looks fine. Although I'm a little kind of meh on parquet setter. I mean, there is gardener's wife. Would we rather have parquet setter or gardener's wife? Parquet setter gives us wood, which we want, but it also gives us food, but not anywhere near as much food as gardener's wife. So I could parquet setter, or I could gardener's wife. Both are pretty good options, I think. Gardener's wife giving food is relevant for our combo. 9 food versus like what, 3 food and 4 wood over the course of the game. I'm not sure, actually. I think none of my ox really give food right now. I think we should take gardener's wife. You know what? We could also take nursemaid. We could take nursemaid and plan to set up the bone collector animal buyer combo first, and then go for actions later. And then nursemaid helps us get even more animals, which is even more wood. And it gets us food, of course. Nah, I should just go for the first room, and gardener's wife sort of supports that. This pick can convert wood into grain. So I could eat a cattle to generate wood, and then get grain out of it, or get stone out of it, theoretically. Yeah, I see people sometimes, but I don't get too. Yeah, a bit of a. I'm not a super shut in. I think there are other people that are more shut in, but certainly I do spend a lot of time at home. Not chimney sweep, not football player. I could consider wood distributor. Getting 1 reed out of the 1 reed space is actually pretty good for the wood distributor. Or else smuggler. Yeah, 1 reed with miser. I don't need to get on reedstone food. Am I an anti-vaxxer? I am not. I think vaccines are good. And I think there is no real evidence that vaccines are not good. Master Renovator here. I don't think I'm going to play any other card. Yeah, the thing is the people that believe that stuff, they believe it not because of good reasons. They believe it because they want it to be true. And it's what the TV tells them. They don't really, yeah. Anyways, I don't need to get into my thoughts on that. Let's think about the game. Planter box is pretty solid. Lettuce patch is good. Probably not banana tree. I think for me it's between planter box and lettuce patch. Coffee break is good. Animal yards is probably fine for this game. Foraging is probably okay. Free point, worst case scenario. So for me it's planter box or lettuce patch. I think with Gardener's Wife we should probably take lettuce patch, right? Because lettuce patch plus Gardener's Wife is a way to get 4 food pretty easily, even without any other source. Planter box and lettuce patch best. Yeah. Just a circular group of people. Yeah, and it's a whole bunch of Dunning-Kruger, wherein people who are not experts believe themselves to have more information or more expertise than they do. What do we got? Dolly's mother? Dolly's mother could be fine. Like, if we're going to go for a cooking hearth, then taking sheep is a good option. Hammock could be good. Although, would I rather play hammock or would I rather just build another wood room? Like, with miser, hammock is only saving me 2 wood and a reed at the cost of a sheep. And it does save me the build room action, but odds are I'm going to want to go on the build room action anyways with Silo Builder. We've also got collar and chain. I've also got Runestone. Runestone getting me breeding phases with my Bone Collector Animal Buyer combo seems really good. Yeah, I think Runestone makes a lot of sense here. Although Writing Desk is a good card in that it can save you actions once you set up your feeding engine. But the fact that Runestone can get me extra breeding phases for the stuff I could theoretically buy. I like Runestone here. And in fact, field phase works with lettuce patch, so it's like not a bad way to try to feed. So we don't need grain bag. Probably this pick is Camembert, I have to imagine. Don't imagine we're going to see much better than Camembert. Lorelei seems okay. Okay way to get grain, but I don't think I really need grain. I want to do a cooking hearth. Dolly's mother into educated sheep. I don't think educated sheep is really worth a card. I'm fine just doing all the normal stuff out of this. I'm fine building a stable normally. I'm fine with getting grain from my silo builder. I think this pick is probably just Camembert. Brazier is something, but it's hard to imagine I will ever play Brazier ahead of just building a cooking hearth. So Camembert is extreme. It's a great card. Camembert is a great card. So I upped the bits that I'm outputting. So hopefully video quality is still good and everything looks good. Let me know if you notice any issues, and hopefully the audio is still at a good level. I'm not sure what level I had it originally, so if the audio is too quiet, let me know. Um, so after a bit of a rough start, I'm doing better in the tournament. I've won a couple games in a row off of it. Actually, we can look on my game record. It's on here. Yeah, it was third in this, or tied for second, and second, third in this one. And then I was third in this one, and I was tied for second in this one, but then I started winning. Won that one, tied for the win with Payne, won that one, yeah. So doing better more recently. So Chris just updated the stats, and I'm in a good spot, so we can continue with that. Pretty sure I want to play dovetail joints. There is the Guildmaster out there, and Guildmaster certainly wants Peasant's Boutique and wants dovetail joints. We could also take a card like Potato Dibber. Potato Dibber plus Lettuce Patch. I think based on the fact that I have Gardener's Wife and Silo Builder, and I think it'll be worth playing both. I think we can take a card like Dovetail Joints. Now, are we likely to play? This is like a little speculative because our two stables are going to come out fairly late. Like it probably, I don't know if our two stables will come with our fourth room or our fifth room. Might come pretty late. It might depend on how much wood we set up. I'm a little bit regretting not having taken Nursemaid, because with Nursemaid I really could have set up, really could have delayed. I think Runestone really, going for Nursemaid would have been really good, because then you can get the breeding pair, and it's an extra couple instances of Bone Collector. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. But yes, having room for two breeding pairs of animals will be very solid. Being able to hold a breeding pair of cattle and boar will generate me 7 food and 2 wood each harvest. But even just one of them is pretty solid, and then buying animals neutrally with Animal Buyer. That's good. So like if I have a breeding pair of cattle, so 3 cattle, and then I have Animal Buyer, I can food neutrally buy and eat the Animal Buyer, generate 2 wood from that, and then also get 4 food and a wood from my cattle. Like there's a lot of ridiculous stuff we can do here. Don't really think I want Animal Yard, but maybe I could take Animal Yard. Would be a way to hold the breed. It would let me delay my fencing up until the very last round. Because with Animal Yard plus 4 stables, I have room for 2 breeding pairs plus 1 sheep, for example. And that would be okay. Don't think I'm going to take Banana Tree here. Although Banana Tree seems like an okay Nur card. I just think the clay on it is a little scary. Like, I don't really know if I want to take clay early. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want... Banana Tree will push me away from just building rooms and stuff, and I don't really want to do that. Whereas Animal Yard at least will let me hold breeding pairs. I could also do foraging. I think it's between these 3. I don't think I'll consider Guest Plow or Outhouse. I think it's between these 3. Although maybe I should consider Guest Plow. What are the odds that leaving a space open for 1 round is worth a field? Like certainly if I can build a room, first action, second action plow, third action family growth, like that's something. That's a pretty tight round. Like all my feeding has to be settled and everything. I think we can maybe take foraging here. I've actually been generally quite impressed with foraging overall. Writing desk came back. Wow. Definitely taking writing desk. Yes, we would like to use it to play 6 occupations. Probably my first 6. Master Renovator can sit over there. Like playing animal buyer and bone collector at the same time is just going to be really, really very nice. And then here, sheep into 2 food and a grain is not really I just don't really care about that. Sheep into 2 food and a building resource, it's kind of similar. Like, I just don't really care. But I don't really want to play brazier. I don't want to play coke stove. We can educated sheep. All right, let's see if we can make this work. All right. Yeah. So I think what we're looking at is we play miser and wood distributor early, or miser and gardener's wife early, and then we're gonna set up writing desk, animal buyer, bone collector, and then wood distributor, silo builder could come together. Wood distributor would be getting me 2 wood. It would be pay for that extra pay for 1 extra stable. Yeah, and I don't really know if I need to play wood distributor. Paying 2 food for 2 wood will probably be an okay option with bone collector. So we'll see if we can make this work. Generally, we like first family growth with Camembert and writing desk. So we have some good start player cards. Although lettuce patch, if we are planning to play 6 occupations, lettuce patch will come a little later. So like after writing desk. Is my California trip canceled or in a holding pattern? It is canceled. Yeah, the wedding actually just got canceled yesterday. So there's been a lot of changes in Canada, and I guess in the US as well, although I'm not as sensitive to those changes, just over the last 48 hours about what people should be doing around COVID, and what kind of the government recommendations are and that kind of thing. So yesterday morning, the Canadian government recommended no international travel. And then, I think the county that the wedding was going to be in California shut down all those venues and said, no, you can't do it. And so then they canceled it last night, unfortunately. But, and then I was going to go, call American Airlines and be like, hey, this is screwing up my trip plans. And I imagine they're totally flooded with calls right now because their main cancellation or book status page says just go ahead and cancel your flight and call us before the end of the year to rebook. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that, because I'm sure they're just absolutely flooded with calls right now. So yeah, so they're planning to reschedule, so we'll still go back, but whenever it gets rescheduled too. But yeah, we'll have to rebook the flights and everything. So you know what, I wasn't looking forward to going, because all my California, I was looking forward to going, but I was not looking forward to all my friends in California being super paranoid, which again, I'm not there, I don't know what the situation is, but I was just like, they were being kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I'll be able to stream. I'll be able to stream a lot because soccer got canceled yesterday for the rest of the league, and my hockey got canceled, and this and that all got canceled. A whole bunch of stuff has been canceled, so I might be spending a lot more time at home. And if you guys are as well, then hopefully you will join me for some videos and some streaming, and we can play some board games, because we can't get COVID online. You can get cancer, but you can't get COVID online. Montu with Reedstone Food start. So do we think Montu took Farm School Graduate? I think he's talked about not liking it. Or someone has talked about not liking Farm School Graduate. I can't remember who they were. Just playing Gardener's Wife seems fine here. That order doesn't really matter. But Gardener's Wife is a clear sign that I want to go for the Cooking Hearth, of course. Then we've got Magician here for JJ Lee. Also, Farm School Graduate looks like it's in Thatcher's hand. Cannot think of too many reasons to take 3 wood ahead of playing an occupation. Well, no, there are plenty of reasons, but certainly if you had Farm School Graduate in hand and your choice was free occupation or 3 wood, you take 3 wood every time. So Montu Reedstone Food open is not really a signal, but 3 wood ahead of occupation round 1 is absolutely a signal that I'm guessing JJ Lee probably took Farm School Graduate. All right. Well, this board kind of sucks. We don't really have anything we want to start player with. Well, not anything that we can afford right now, so I'll just go ahead and day labor. Not the best, but that's where a card like the potato dibber, that card might have been a bit better, because I do have fairly expensive occupations like foraging. Foraging, it's not a printed cost, it's a prerequisite cost. Like I have to have a planted field before I can play it. 2 wood occupation, 2 wood occupation, 3 wood, or sorry, not 2 wood occupation, 2 occupation prereq, 2 occupation prereq, 3 occupation prereq. Runestone costs 2 stone and doesn't have an effect until round 10. So of course you're not playing it this early. Educated sheep, you got to get a sheep on your farm somehow. Man, I'm going to get another really awful board passed around to me again, but I think there's not too much to be done about it. We'll go ahead and play Miser here. So Miser saving me a wood and a reed when I build wood rooms, which I will plan to do at least twice. Ideally 3 times. 3 times might be hard to get enough plows and do 3 times, like, but I can play Runestone without having any plows. Like I think Runestone will be still worthwhile even with even just with breeding animals because of Bone Collector. Thatcher builds the first fireplace. Sure. I would like to get 4 clay next round. 4 clay would make me happy. In the meantime, 2 wood is okay. The bricklayer makes me a little afraid. It's definitely possible that Montu could go for it. The fact that there's Magician in the game, you know, who has a grain already, we might see JJ Lee prioritize the 4 clay a bit higher. Might have built his draft around an early stone oven. Yeah, the fact that we've gone third 3 rounds in a row is pretty awful. Magician, we're definitely sad sitting after the Magician, because JJ Lee's not really too incentivized to start player when he's got a very uncontested, you know, 3 food 1 grain action or 2 food 1 grain action. So not the best start for us, but we can now play Camembert, so it's getting better. It's getting better. You can also play Writing Desk. But yeah, 4 clay looks like a very solid option. 4 clay into 3 wood maybe. And then, or 4 clay into start player Camembert into Reedstone Food. Oh man, this is why going fourth. 3 3 rounds in a row is pretty sad, because usually Fort Clay is not that contested in round 3. You know, so if you first action grab it, you can get it pretty reliably, but not the case for me this game, which is too bad. So 3 wood it is. 3 wood's fine, it's just I would like to I need to get my feeding sorted out. Like, that cooking hearth is so important. My animal buyer bone collector combo is not really worth doing unless I have a cooking hearth, because it's not food neutral unless it's a cooking hearth. It's not worth playing that combo unless it's food neutral, and it's not food neutral if I don't have a cooking hearth. So Montu got 3 times Reedstone food in the first 3 rounds, and then also had Guildmaster. So yeah, this is pretty brutal. Looking pretty brutal for us right now. I mean, not that Montu is necessarily competing for the spaces we want, but certainly Montu is going to want to take clay to build the pottery with Bricklayer there, and with 3 stone is going to be able to build a couple of them really quick, accelerate his game. Like, Basket Maker's Workshop is already available for him, and Basket Maker's Workshop this early is worth quite a bit of food. So there's the farm school graduate, as expected from Thatcher. So Thatcher going to pick up 2 sheep in round 4. One of them feeds 4, the other one pays for the occupation. Oh man, this board really sucks. I think I got to start player Camembert. I got to start getting out of this, getting out of being last here. Where do I put the Camembert food? Well, certainly Reedstone food I think will be my first action with Miser. Reedstone food looks good. Thatcher could first action build a room if I put a food there, but if he does that, he's extremely vulnerable to getting screwed on feeding. So I think we can gamble that Thatcher will not go for a room with his first action. And then the third food could go... I don't really want to put it on Major Minor. I don't want to put it on Clay and reward Montu for taking Clay. Don't really want to put it on an occupation because I'm not planning to ock for a little while. Traveling players, nah. Put it on wood? Could put it on wood. Wood's probably an okay option. I'm wondering if I... Yeah, Major Minor would be good, but no, not Major Minor. Plow? No, not with what JJ Lee has done. Plowing a couple fields early. I'll just put it on 1. You know, I'll put it on 2 wood. There's a chance everyone skips out on 2 wood and then nobody start players, and then I got 4 wood, 1 food as my first action next round. Oh. Oh, that was so dumb. If anyone's refreshed the board... Oh, I kind of want to just move it. Oh, that would not be very fair. No, I can't. That's not fair play. Oh, I'm so dumb. Of course at 4 wood it's gonna get taken. You're welcome. If Montu and Thatcher take 4, yeah, Montu takes 4 wood, no surprise. Thatcher will do what? Build a room here? Probably. Oh man, what am I doing? What am I doing? Well, at least 4 clay comes back to me, but I don't know, that seems like not good enough compensation. JJ Lee plays Occupation Writing Maniac. Raiding Maniac's a nice card. Yeah, this is very what face. This is very feeding my opponents. Yeah. Oh, and that's not the good way. That's not a good way to use Camembert. That's just not good play over or all around. I'm disappointed in myself. Okay. The one thing that could happen here, if Montu does not take 3 wood and Thatcher and JJ Lee don't have start player actions to get food, that means I'm going to get 6 wood coming to me for free. I'll have first action 6 wood round 5, which would be really, really nice. Because Thatcher needs to pick up food for his farm school graduate and his family. Montu might play the Basket Maker's Workshop here. Oh, he's going to start player Banana Tree. Oh, no. Wait, how? Oh, Bricklayer. Oh, no. Oh, Montu's going to get 6 wood. Oh, this game is so over. Well, sometimes your opponents get 3 times Reedstone food into 4 wood and a food, and then start player into 6 wood. Man. Well, we'll try to do the best that we can from here. Try to do our best from here, but this is pretty atrocious. So we've got Thatcher playing childcare worker with his farm school graduate. And then JJ Lee plays is it D? So what could it be? Drinker of Absinthe. I would not have guessed that. This card doesn't get played too often. The fact that it's only neutral food before the second harvest is a big drawback. Yeah, playing cards in stage 2 that are just food neutral is not usually good. Usually you're trying to increase your number of food. I should feed 4. I think I'm in a position where first action building a room is a good play. Am I? I can play writing desk on start player. I do need more wood before. Honestly, I can't even play any. I can play writing desk. I can't play any of the rest. Man, it sucked going last, but I should not have played Camembert. Playing Camembert was a big mistake. I needed to hold that for start player into family growth. Poor. This is poor play by me. All right, we'll go ahead and build a room here. We really don't want to pass growing again to Montu. Or we don't really want to pass building to Montu. We want to grow after Thatcher. So what should this move be? Thatcher might even take the sheep with this move. Man, Thatcher's in a pretty good spot as well, I have to say. Thatcher start player plus wild greens. Four clay or reedstone food. Four clay means that I don't get screwed by a cooking hearth upgrade or JJ Lee building the cooking hearth. Reedstone food lets me play runestone. So I think that just decided it. The ability to play runestone, that gives me another way to use my minor improvements, so that seems okay. So family growth comes around 7, so maybe that slows Montu. I don't know. He's got Basket Maker's Workshop already. It's hard to say that that's going to be the case. Thatcher certainly is unhappy to see round 7 family growth, but I don't know. I don't know how I should feel about it. I might get to grow after Thatcher because JJ Lee is pretty far away from being able to grow. Unless he has Country Doctor. Did JJ Lee announce a C? I probably shouldn't use this information because we wouldn't have it. Yeah, no. He might have Country Doctor, for example. And if he has Country Doctor, then that will be handy. Is Country Doctor a good enough reason to not build a room? I always like Country Doctor for my second family member, but it obviously is a lot slower in that case. So there's no chance that Thatcher does not take 4 sheep with his second move here. What should I be doing? I mean, I can reno and then build a cooking hearth and then go and build clay rooms. Yeah, 6 clay is okay. So now I can reno plus cooking hearth. And then 1 more clay action to build another clay room. Okay, yeah, I can do that. It saves me some wood. Oh, here's a planter box for Thatcher. Card's quite good. What was I deciding between planter box and lettuce patch? So what did Montu take? What else was in there? I've forgotten already. I have already forgotten. Montu could reedstone food, could 2 stone. Reedstone food seems like a solid option to get an extra reed to eat in the next harvest. Plus it gets you the wood for the joinery. But no, he decided to go for 4 wood. Alright. Yeah, Thatcher takes the sheep. There was not really any question of that. JJ Lee's got their stuff. So yeah, so I guess I'm gonna play as if JJ Lee is gonna start player Country Doctor next round. So if that's what's gonna happen, then I could get 4 wood. I could also get 3 stone. 3 stone to build the well looks okay. 4 wood is solid. 4 wood, you know, is some more stables and writing desk and that kind of thing. So Reno cooking hearth seems like an okay option here. I will have to pick up some food. Thatcher is fine for food. JJ Lee is fine for food. So I'm pretty sure I can second action get 3 food fishing, which is not great, but it's something. Getting enough food to play 2 occupations at once is looking like it'll be difficult. Yeah, JJ Lee plays Country Doctor as expected. And then grain bag for Thatcher. There's Country Doctor. Basically, it's going to let him family growth in round 8. And then grain bag. So we'll take wood into 3 food. That's probably our sequence here. So if I could get a 5 clay action, that would be quite excellent. 5 clay would be 2 more rooms. If I only get 4 clay, I could maybe use Educated Sheep to try to get the 8th clay. So that way I could ignore clay for the rest of the game after doing that. Wood Distributor does make taking clay a bit better. You know, if I do something along the lines of playing... Oh, here's baking tray. Oh, this is very nice for JJ Lee. So JJ Lee will take traveling players with their second move to feed this harvest, and then can build the clay oven on family growth next round. Or the other thing you could do is you could take 3 stone and then build the stone oven, because the stone oven lets you bake 2 of your grain, which is nice. But probably we're going to see 3 food plus a grain into clay oven and then try to build the stone oven later. That would be my guess. So next round, we probably are in a situation where we first action start player. So we can play writing desk at that point. Unless Montu doesn't build this round. If Montu doesn't build this round, we can wait, because building 2 stables with our dovetail joints is a good option. Yeah, but the fact that dovetail joints is not giving us a free joinery, that's like most of the reason that you play the card, obviously. The fact that it's not a free joinery anymore makes it quite a bit worse. But, I mean, stone came in round 5. Although it hasn't been taken yet. The big thing is the Guildmaster got Reedstone food 3 times in stage 1, which has been really good for them. Which has made it hard for me for sure. Ooh, Montu goes for 3 clay here. Is he thinking that I might build the pottery? That is an interesting move to me. Very interesting. Because, yeah, if I could build the pottery here. Because he certainly likes the pottery. Maybe, no, because if Montu builds the pottery, then maybe he doesn't build the joinery until after Dovetail Joints comes out. So I don't have to first action start player next round unless Montu builds with this move. And I think it's increasingly unlikely that he does so, because he's going to try to set up a nice double build. Feed 4. And I do get a vegetable for my round 9 harvest. So I've got 4 food there. But this Animal Buyer Bone Collector combo is just getting pushed further and further back, which makes it questionable whether it's even worth playing at this point. This is where playing around, like round 7 family growth basically is the final nail in the coffin. Like Nursemaid would have been the better line. Nursemaid would have been just a much better line. because I'd be getting food from my opponent's growing. I could have been setting up my animal buyer bone collector combo instead of competing for building a room. Yeah. Well, we'll do what we can to keep this game going. I mean, there's still good aspects to it. You know, I like Lettuce Patch plus Runestone plus Gardener's Wife. I think those will interact pretty nicely. I do still have like dovetail joints to do cool stuff. Yeah, Montu does build the pottery, and he renovates as well. Interesting. So the pottery was net plus three clay, and he was at 2. Or no, he was at 3, but then he also paid 1 clay to reno. Right. Right. Well, I don't mind stable blocking at all, so I definitely will not start player with my first move. In fact, I could first move build 2 stables. And if I first move build 2 stables, someone would have to have farm steward, basically, is what would jump me at this point. Yeah, let's try this. Build 2 stables. And then 4 wood would be awesome, although I'm skeptical that I'm getting 4 wood back. Don't really want 2 sheep. I'd rather have 3 sheep. Yeah, so I can play dovetail joints into building the joinery, or I could just go ahead and play like writing desk on family growth, or play runestone on family growth. Although playing runestone is looking like, if I don't have anything on my farm, it's not really worth anything. Yeah, Montu looking like he's going to try to grow in round 10 and 11. So if I want to grow again, it won't be until round 12. So that's... Oh, no. Oh, no, I have Silo Builder. What am I doing? Kill me now, guys. Just kill me now. Okay, that was very, very not good of me. Silo Builder is a fantastic card. I should absolutely be playing around Silo Builder. Doesn't work retroactively. Okay, reset. So, pretend Silo Builder's not in my hand, unless I want to play it for as a 2 vegetable action. I do have Gardener's Wife getting me vegetable. That is nice. I do still have a cooking hearth. I do have space to take 3 sheep as a very good action next round. Okay, those are still true. I'm not going to have time to play all the miners I want, and I just invested into dovetail joints, which is really like 2 miners in one, because it not only is a miner itself, but it also pushes me to want to build the joinery. Yeah. I gotta adjust my expectations. I was 4th 3 times in round 3 and then did an awful start. I just threw away a move in stage 1. So I got to be thinking from that point of view. So yeah, of course, Bone Collector Animal Buyer is not coming out. I'm never going to get enough actions with that being the case. So maybe this is okay because maybe I don't really, maybe I'll only ever plow 2 fields. And if I only ever plow 2 fields, then, Silo Builder is kind of diminishing returns there. Maybe educated sheep giving a grain is relevant now. Like, that's definitely possible. I mean, I still have Free Point Miner foraging. I do still think Runestone can be a solid play, especially round 10 after I've gotten a breeding pair of sheep, for example. So like for in round 9, if I play dove, my 2 actions could be 3 sheep and dovetail and family growth dovetail joints. In which case, I eat a sheep, I eat 2 food from dovetail joints, and I eat the food on my farm. I'm still left with 3 sheep and a vegetable, so the vegetable I would then be able to sow after I've played lettuce patch or done some sowing. So those are options of things that I can do. JJ Lee is playing Start Player Ruins here. And that move makes not a whole lot of sense to me. We'll take the 3 sheep. Sure. So 3 sheep into dovetail joints. Looks like the play. And then we kind of hope that Montu doesn't 2-stone into joinery, but if he does, then of course he can build the joinery before us. But if he does that, he's kind of gone all in on like not getting rooms. Yeah, of course he had to take the 2 clay rooms there. So maybe it's the correct decision for us to first action start play around 10, build the joinery. Maybe that'll be a correct play. But there's no real pressure on the joinery until anyone can get stone. And no one's really got access to stone right now, so... I still think building a room is probably worthwhile. So yeah, I think we're playing dovetail joints here. Plus FF. So 3 food, sheep to feed 5. We also get a vegetable. It's going to be difficult. Yeah, I mean, building another room seems to make sense. With Miser, building rooms are generally always good. It's going to be difficult to get enough wood. I was really banking on that bone collector. But, yeah. I mean, it's still possible that bone collector can be a couple wood. But I was thinking that bone collector could be like 2-3 wood per harvest. And instead it's going to be like 1 wood per harvest. Obviously, it's a big difference. Yeah, I think like that day labor in round 1 is a thrown away move, basically, because it's not a move I want to do in almost any line. And then my start player, Camembert, I think was quite a bad move. I mean, I know I needed to get reed, but these guys were all probably going to pass me 2 reed. So if they're going to pass me 2 reed, what am I doing? And like and Thatcher is most of the time going to build in round 4. Yeah, that was... I overstated where I thought, the position I thought Thatcher was in. Thought Thatcher would maybe not risk getting those cards passed around, but obviously didn't end up caring. So technically, JJ Lee can build the joinery next round. Stone from Ruins plus... oh, I haven't updated the card in a while. Sorry about this. So Stroller, JJ Lee makes a pile of resources, and during the harvest, or building resources, and during each harvest he gets to take an item. And then we've got Ruins for JJ Lee. This is a card that actually can pay back all the stone that you put into it. Of course, you just get it over time, so you have to be okay with the investment. And then I play Dovetail Joints, which gets me 2 food, and it's the ceramics for the joinery, but instead of a oven requirement, it's got a 2 stable requirement. JJ Lee first action takes 3 stone. Thatcher plays Occupation Nursemaid. Okay. There's 4 wood available. There's 2 boar available. There's building the joinery available. Four wood looks like a pretty solid move. Yeah, 4 wood, it seems like a solid move. Montu may be 2 boar into family growth. But then, you know, I could always start player into 2 cattle. Start player into 2 cattle seems like an okay option. I could still start player Runestone. Runestone would give me food here. My cabbage. Does this get buffed? Didn't it cost 2 clay before? 1 vegetable on the next 2 round spaces. And it's got a free point on it. Very good card. The card is extremely good. Well, the boar are going to come around, so that's something. The joinery is still contested. I think I kind of like the idea of playing... Yeah, let's play Runestone. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to a stone house, but you can go ahead and play Runestone here. Lets me eat my sheep. And then my last action could be take 2 boar and then breed those, or it could be taking 3 wood, or it could be plowing a field. Could be taking reedstone food. Montu plays Minor Lorelei. Card is quite good. Yeah, I think that card is pretty... I mean, this late it's not as good because it's much easier for us to avoid fishing. But in stage 1 and 2, it's very difficult to avoid fishing, especially when it's got an extra food on it. So it's a card that certainly should benefit the person who plays it a good amount. All right. Two boar is good. I could take 2 boar and then Bone Collector is not dead. If I take 2 boar here, I could first action 2 boar and breed. What I could do here is I could first action start player writing desk. into Bone Collector plus Animal Buyer. Yeah. Yeah, I could still do that. And I would like Family Growth and I would like Plow Sow. I would take either of those options. Yep. This is a game where I have miners I want to use and I have high desire to take Family Growth or Plow Sow. If I start player a lot, though, it's certainly to the benefit of Montu. And Montu's in a pretty good position as is. Although his actions are coming late, that's for sure. But he's got all his fencing done already. And he's got very solid improvement points. And his feeding seems okay. So yeah, Montu I think is probably in the lead right now. Thatcher's not doing too bad, but I don't know. It just feels like Clay into Reed, into Build a Room, into Family Growth is just so many moves. Even though I have miners I want to play. It's just so many moves that I don't have time for. Like if I do that, I'm not going to fence my farm reasonably. So if I want to fence my farm reasonably, I think the Bone Collector play is what I have to do. JJ Lee plays Henkeeper. Whenever you harvest grain, you can put them on this card, and you get bonus points for grain. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. What JJ is doing is fine, but it's not beating Montu, I don't believe. Like a 2-room clay house it's not that many points. It's not that many points. Now, the fact that he gets to build the stone oven pretty cheap, that makes it better. And the fact that he can build the stone oven on start player, okay, that's looking a lot better. Build the stone oven, get 8 food, like that's fantastic. 13 food probably with how much grain he has. Thatcher gonna go all in on the planter box here. That's interesting to me. Did he take his wild greens food? I didn't notice. Yep, wild greens. Yeah, with Gardener, certainly that vegetable is going to be quite nice. Man, I wish I got Gardener back. Lettuce Patch plus Gardener is an old combo that's amazing. Alright, so JJ Lee's first action playing Market Stall on start player. Alright, so Writing Desk would just have to be played on Major Minor, which makes it quite a bit worse. Is that just what we're doing here? I guess so. I could build another room. But if I do it, then I don't get to use... I lose out on a bunch of wood, it feels like. Because if I don't do it now, then I don't trigger it on Runestone this round or next round. Or not on Runestone, I don't trigger it on the breeding this round or next round. But then I could have built stables so that I wouldn't have to accommodate. I could accommodate instead of eating the bred animal. I don't know. This game has not gone kind of the way I hoped it would. I think probably the big mistake was I needed my Bone Collector Animal Buyer combo out earlier. I think that's really that's the mistake I'm feeling the most strongly, I think. Now, do I have enough food that I could eat all my boar and buy a pair of cattle? I guess I probably do, eh? So if I eat a boar, that pays for my occupation. Suggest to build another room. Yeah, I could still do that, honestly. Like that's not out of the question. I could still do that in round 12. The problem is it's a clay move, a reed move, and a build room move before I get on family growth. So is that likely to be better than just start player into family growth even without room? The answer is probably no, right? Now I do have like this educated sheep, which could get me the clay, which sort of saves me a move, but I don't know. We'll see. I think what I do is I play my 2 occupations here. So I played my writing desk, which lets me play 2 occupations. The second one costs 2 food. Then I played Animal Buyer, which is a card that lets me buy animals in the harvest. And I have Bone Collector. JJ Lee says, nice combo. Not as nice as it should have been, unfortunately. The one thing that's okay about this game is I actually use the Bone Collector wood that I get in round 14 that I can buy because I have joinery, so I can actually use that wood, which is not all that common. Montu Family Growth Coffee Break. He got some really nice cards for his bricklayer. Some really nice cards. Coffee Break, My Cabbage, yeah. Banana Tree. Bricklayer's put in work. Absolutely has put in work. And he breeds cattle and sheep here. Oh, that's scary. I still have my joinery to play. Got to keep that in mind. Yeah, I think we're going to have a hard time even just getting to 3 fields, and, you know, we could fence 14, maybe. I mean, certainly the fact that we got this combo out helps our wood situation quite a bit. Definitely helps our wood situation a lot. Oh, man. That's some irregular fencing from Thatcher. Guessing Thatcher has Cloister Dweller, it looks like. It's the only reason I could think of that you would fence like this. But if you do that, you can't even... No, not Cloister Dweller, because you can't even fill... Like, I guess you could do that, and then, but you still have another 3 fields to plow, which doesn't seem right. You should build another room, right? Oh, let's make sure we've got this correct. So, if I eat 3 boar, do I have enough? I do not have enough at this moment. I would have to eat my vegetable to buy a pair of cattle. Or I could take food here. Take 4 food to save the vegetable. Or I could build the joinery, but there's no improvement space available to me. So I'm gonna eat 3-0 plus 3 wood. I will buy a pair of cattle. So I really just need to pick up another 2 food somehow. How do I do it? How am I getting food here? It's 4 food fishing. Go fish. Fishing is 5 food, yeah. Alright. Well, I mean, I trigger my runestone next round. So if JJ Lee plow sows, that's fine. If he doesn't plow sow, I'll take start player. Whoa, JJ Lee is start playering, it looks like. Alright, well that's fantastic for me. Getting Plow-Sow here, because we get to Runestone harvest our grain. So really feeling good about holding the vegetable right now. So Thatcher's saying, you know, hey, easy on the start player there, JJ Lee. And it's like, well, I don't know. It seems like a pretty solid move when the two leaders are in seats 1 and 2. Like, uh, 4 wood here. Is my joinery in danger? Forward seems fine. Montu's got hammock. Oh man. This card is really good. I think people undervalue it quite a bit. It's just such a... The person who is able to play this card is usually in such a good position anyways. It's maybe a little undervalued potentially. So if we assume that JJ Lee is going to family growth, which is not necessarily a safe assumption, it is possible that they Plow-Sow. So I mean, we just do the opposite. That's a pretty easy decision. Family growth gives us a grain and an action, and Plow-Sow obviously, you know, gets us our second field and some more vegetable, which is also very good. Well, actually, this move probably tells us what we're getting, because JJ Lee probably sow bakes if he's taking family growth. If he's taking Plow-Sow, then he would probably not sow bake here. Saying that with absolutely zero knowledge of what's in his hand. Yeah, they're so big. So yeah, we are getting Plow-Sow. So we don't need to take grain because we're going to harvest a vegetable and sow that. So that seems fine. Should we fence 14 here? I could fence 14 with this move. No, I can't fence 14. Fence is taken. I could still try to family growth. If I take greed with this action, family growth is still an option. And there are still points to be gotten from growing. I could just take points for joinery here. Take wood, take more wood. Or take grain at as 2 points. Building another room seems like a reasonable option. Let's read stone food here. And then we can think about buying a sheep into playing. Would we play educated sheep? No. Educated sheep is good if it gets us the clay, but it's not if it doesn't. Yeah, I don't have many moves left. That Reedstone food move is probably not very good. I mean, it lets us maybe go for Reno. And the well is available, so, you know, also playing Reno Joinery is a thing, or playing Reno Lettuce Patch, or playing Reno Foraging. But we still have improvements we would like to play. Maybe taking stone early next round is good because of Thatcher. Thatcher's left is renovating pretty late. Yeah, the fact he's still in clay is probably going to be a problem for him. Because Montu at 4 rooms, you got to think Montu would like to grow if that's an option. Yeah. We'll see. I'll eat cattle for 4 food and a wood, and then harvest my vegetable. Activate my runestone. Plow again seems like an okay option. Alright, now that Reedstone food was just a throwaway move. I'm not gonna have time. I'm not gonna have time to build another room. I need to fence. Yeah, fencing is worth quite a bit more. The fact that family growth is, I wouldn't even get on family growth until round 14. Yeah, man, that Reedstone food move was not very good. I'm sorry guys, this has not been my best game. I do think there are some things that didn't go my way, but I mean, I should be adapting and recognizing when that's happening, and setting myself to, you know, ameliorate that so that it's not doesn't have such a negative impact. What am I doing here? Probably fencing. Fencing so that I can buy a pair of something that's not cattle. And also, we're definitely not fencing like this. Oh, whoops. I gotta change the way I'm doing this. So yeah, I eat a boar, or not a boar. Eat a cattle for another 4 food and a wood, and then fence 15. Eat A for 4 food and a wood and fence 15. Then my last move could be to take 3 stone, although that sort of depends on what I think Montu will do. Looks like Montu really wants plow sow next round, which makes a lot of sense. It's a good action, lots of points on it. Is Montu going to try to Reno is kind of the question. And I guess it matters whether or not Thatcher takes Reno here. And you know what? JJ Lee is ready to Reno as well. So maybe taking 3 stone is not good, but the well is available. However, JJ Lee can build the well. And you know what? JJ Lee might like the well better than renovating. So in that case, taking stone doesn't seem so good. And you know what? Looks like Thatcher is setting himself up to Reno well with his last move here. Would be my assumption. So I can buy a pair of boar here. I have enough food to do that. So I can buy a pair of boar, and then I breed boar and cattle, and then eating them gets me wood for the joinery that I will presumably build, which I probably should just build with this move, right? Or I take 6 clay. You know what? It's looking like building another room is going to make a lot of sense. Yeah, looks like building a room is going to make a lot of sense. I don't have that much else that I will want to do here. Buy 2-0 and feed 6. Certainly I'm leaving the joinery vulnerable here with this play. Clay block. Thatcher builds the well. There it is. So let's see. I think Montu will want to reno, but it's possible that he goes for the joinery. Certainly with Guildmaster, the joinery is a pretty nice improvement. Good bot. The one problem with buying boar there is that I can no longer play educated sheep on family growth, but playing lettuce patch or foraging for a free point seems like an okay move. And then I do want to be able to, I do want to leave myself 2 food so that I can buy a 2-point sheep in round 14. So I can food neutrally buy a wood. Because animal buyer is field phase, right? Yeah, so I can buy it and then use the wood to gain myself 2 food. So actually buying the sheep is food neutral, assuming I have a joinery and am not planning to use the wood food already. The other thing I can do is I can eat all my cattle. I can eat all my cattle, and then when I family growth, I'll eat all my cattle and my boar, and then when I family growth or build a room, I can build 2 more stables. Which, if I figure I'm gonna have to get the food anyways, it's maybe a more efficient way of using my food. Although 4 wood to 2 points is not much better than the joinery conversion. Not much better, but it is better. Oh, Montu does build the joinery. That's too bad. No joinery for us. Well, maybe that's a point in favor of building stables then, because otherwise we're going to get a bunch of wood that we don't have any use for. Yeah. Yeah, I never had time to play the joinery. I should have. Seems pretty obvious that I should have, but never got around to it. I mean, I should have played Silo Builder. Oh, man. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. There are a lot of them for this game. Didn't have my head in the game. Yeah, I mean, I think I did okay. Like, my planning was okay. I think I didn't adapt quickly enough, and I think that's just me being not as good a player as I could be. Like, that's me needing to be more careful about everything. Oh, he does have Cloister Dweller. Yeah. I don't know why he did his farms in that way, or his pastures in that way. That doesn't really seem like a... That doesn't seem that good to me. 2-point plow, 2-point vegetable, or is food more points? Two-point plow seems okay. Don't plow build. I can still build. I can build and then family growth. Build is only in danger if I think someone's gonna build a stable, and that would have to be... Oh! Oh! Can I change, please? Oh, man. I just filled the space I was gonna put my room into. Oh man, I am very asleep at the wheel here. Oh man, I just plowed a field again. All right. Eat 2A and 2 boar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'll build 2 stables as well. So I have 14 food. 2 of that is going to buying a sheep, and then I'm gonna have to feed 7, so then I'll have another 5, so I can buy another cattle. Yeah. Thatcher played cotton field. Yeah. Yeah, Thatcher played cotton field. Cotton field solid. His last stock gives him 3 points, not plow. Ooh. What gives him 3 points? Pickler or something? 2-point grain probably is an okay move here. If Montu passed Pickler, And that would explain why Montu really wanted Plow So here. Although, did he really? I don't know. He just kind of did it to do it. Like, Dolly's Mother seems like something you could play either way. When's the last time you used Taster in a game? Never, actually. It's been banned on this site for as long as I've played on here. And I think yeah, I don't know if I ever played with it offline. I don't really remember. I didn't play offline too many times before I started playing on here. Because my family didn't really like playing with me. Because I would put a lot of time into thinking about the game and reading all the rules and stuff. And then my dad and brother would not really know the rules and would get annoyed with me. JJ Lee plays Hide Farmer. Sure. So we'll go ahead and play Lettuce Patch for a point. So JJ Lee with Hide Farmer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields, and he's got plenty of food, or 5 spaces, so that works out nicely. Then I've got Lettuce Patch, and then Feed 7 by AO, or AH. So I'm left like this, I believe. And I have... Oh, and I get an extra plus V Gardener's Wife. So this is my final here. Assuming that no one plays global bonuses, which I would get access to. Man, if someone had Constable, this would be the time. I'm the only person hitting the Constable. Would be enough to jump me into second, maybe. I have to use it on the iOS app. The opponents play blank cards. I have to as well. 4 record on the iOS is like... Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's like 50%. That's fantastic. Thatcher plays Barnmaster. 1 stable at no cost in each of your pastures that cannot contain any more animals than it does. Ah, that's a 3-point card. So Montu knew exactly what he had. Alright, let's check out my score. Is it only 37? Oh, man. That's a sad one. I guess I don't really have many points from my house. I don't have very many points from fields. I have no negatives, but I just don't have a lot of other stuff. 4 family members. Yeah, not in a stone house. +3? Yep. What does JJ Lee end at? Don't know if... Oh, 48 looks like. Yep. This is a sad one. Sad game. That's... No, that's not a sad one. That's like, oh, it's just okay. You know, if you want to talk smack to someone. Like, that's where you, Rilo Kren, you should be saying to me, William, you played that game just okay. But... really, I didn't play it just okay. I played bad. Actually, I remember, Cedom, it's funny you mentioned that, because I remember early on in the days of this channel, I think it was Lumen, actually, commenting on YouTube. I remember him commenting that he played on the app versus the bots, and that his score versus the bots had increased a lot. From watching, and I mean this was like probably 2014 before Lumen started on the site, and then of course now he's like one of the best players on the site. Um, yeah, I guess we'll look at the draft. Try to learn something from this game. Don't first pick Silo Builder and then forget that you have it in your hand. We need the game number. 341082. So Silo Builder at 4.6 makes a lot of sense. So I took Miser here ahead of Bricklayer. So Bricklayer is nice. Silo Builder could get me crops. Trying to think about how do I make Bricklayer and Silo Builder get along nicely. Maybe they don't need to get along nicely. Maybe just because of clay miners, Bricklayer is worth playing. I don't know. I like the idea of Miser here. Go back to the build room space. But maybe Miser's just not that strong a card in general. Bone Collector over Guildmaster. Guildmaster ended up being pretty nice for Montu. Now, I mean, Guildmaster is better in a game where you get Reedstone Food 3 times because nobody else takes start player when you start in the first player seat. Oh, man. PJ Salt. Yes, this is the third best card by power. And it's drafted almost last out of all of these cards. Entrepreneur is only drafted slightly later. Animal Buyer here. Yeah, there's Gardener available. There's Food Connoisseur. Certainly there's a different path I could have gone down. And then I took Gardener's Wife here. Yeah, so the reason I was thinking about that Nursemaid so much is because Nursemaid could have fed me while I was setting up the Miser, the Bone Collector Animal Buyer combo. It would have taken a lot of actions, though. So it's not guaranteed that it works. Who won? I missed it. Yeah, Montu won, and I came last. So, Montu. Go watch him. Go watch someone who wins. Don't watch me. A wood distributor here over smuggler. I don't know. I first picked lettuce patch. Seems fine. I took runestone here. Maybe I'm overvaluing runestone. It's the 4th best card by power and 5th best by draft position. I think runestone is pretty good. I'm actually surprised its power is where it is. I mean, 3 for a power 4.2 card. That's good. Yeah, that does mean the card's undervalued. And Camembert here. It's not about winning. It's about having fun. Did I have fun this game? I mean, I had fun. But I was disappointed in myself for making silly mistakes. Camembert. Man, how did I play that game where I didn't know the cards and I didn't have the images of them? I must have been so sharp that day. Or I took an extra hour to play it. One of those two. Yeah, I think Camembert is quite good, although I screwed it up. Dovetail Droids. Yeah, like I got good cards here, foraging. I got good, very high power cards generally. But I didn't play enough of them, and I didn't play enough of them in good situations, in situations where they're good and efficient. So, GG. I'll stream tomorrow. Yeah, I don't I will still be busy next week, but less so than normal, than expected with all these cancellations and stuff. In regards to playing to win, well, if you play for fun, I hope you have fun losing. Yeah, it's true. Like, being competitive is fine, but also, like, if you can't enjoy losing, then you are not going to enjoy doing a lot of stuff very much. Because most people lose a lot, me included. And that's just generally in life, you know. It happens. You gotta be able to deal with it. So yeah, yeah, I'll try not to play as badly tomorrow. So hopefully you come back and watch me then. Um, I'll probably stream earlier. I don't have lunch plans tomorrow, so probably more around my normal time. So I will see you guys then. And if you're watching this on YouTube, consider giving me a follow and a subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription every month. And you can go to my channel and click subscribe, and then I really appreciate that. It's a way to give me some money because your Amazon Prime gives you a free Twitch subscription. So let's make Amazon give me money. That would be great. Yeah, and hope you guys have enjoyed this little video, and we'll see you tomorrow.